Minecraft. I've missed this game, man. Feels like ages since I last played it. Oh, creepers always trying to blow up my stuff. Get out of there, you! I worked too hard on this house.
Some words spoken to open
Something's not right.
debate.
Wait, stop. Hello? Oh yeah, now I remember. Well, it's 2025 and it's been a while since I did a video, so I'm taking you on a little trip down memory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you back to Red Labs.
Nice! This is gonna be so... Ow. This is gonna be so...
Now, the title of this video is absolutely nostalgia bait for anybody who has been watching my videos for any considerable period of time. If you weren't there 13 years ago when it first came out, you've certainly probably seen the series called Red Labs on my channel at some point. As many of you know, this channel started out as a stop-motion channel for LEGO Star Wars videos, and then quickly graduated to becoming a gaming channel with Minecraft at the center of it. Now, as some of you might know if you've been following my band, and just what I do in general, I've been going through some pretty shitty medical stuff over the last 19 months or so. So much so that I haven't been able to work in that period of time, and I haven't felt like recording myself at all in the YouTube context. So if you don't follow my band, you probably haven't seen much of me at all. Which, you know, I kind of regret, but, you know, this is my way of making it right. So I've taken a little torch out of my little house in the village there, and I'm going to take a little walk to my workplace in Minecraft and see if I can remember the way. Use the stars and my sense of direction to try and find myself a way back to Red Labs. Excuse me, Mr. Chicken, sir. Would you happen to know the way to Red Labs? Oh. Well, you know what they say. An opportunity like this. Live, laugh, lava bath. Alright, so I'm going to take a little wander back by torchlight. This looks familiar. Aha! I think I found the entrance. Just have a little look around to make sure that there's nobody here waiting to snipe me or anything like that. The place has been abandoned for 13 years. I wouldn't be surprised if someone had moved in that time, but it looks like most I'll have to worry about is nature. So, Red Labs was a series on my channel that we recorded 2 or 3 different installments of. The first was a Noob's Guide to Minecraft disguised as a science series, and the second series was a modded version of the same thing that explored mods in a fun fashion that people could be entertained by. And it all went to hell at some point, and the lab has just remained pretty much unused for the last 13 years. So, if you see these signs on the door, it says Phoenix Corporation investigation in progress. Beware, scientific waste, turn back now. Bitch, please. I am the scientific waste. Without further ado, let's have a little look inside. She's as beautiful as the day I lost her.
To Red Labs.
She's just been sat abandoned.
The bloody weapons department! We have no weapons department. Warning. Red Labs testing facility over.
Crazy stuff, man. So as you guys will see around you, Red Labs was, well, a laboratory, and it was absolutely our own attempt at some copy of what was going on YouTube at the time with Dan TDM series.
We have our guard who has just destroyed his plant.
And funny enough, destroying that plant a second time was not on purpose. And also, quite obviously, Yog Labs, which has recently just relaunched. Again, another coincidence, because I started rebuilding this place when I became unwell. So as you can see here, we've got a little log of all of the different people that worked here. We've got myself and Lewis and Toby and Jordan. And then if we scroll across to the next page, we've got Red, aka Hugh, who founded Red Labs, Jim, who was a skeleton from episode 3, I believe, Cyrus, who was an Enderman, and then a few other people at the bottom, including Mark, who you guys may remember from my channel before. Now, if we have a little look at this one, it's called the Green Zone book, which is basically a little lore drop to explain how Red Labs was supposed to end in Series 2. It was basically supposed to all come to a head where Red decided to try and siphon power from the rift that we had in the lab down here, down the green path, and he screwed it up and accidentally destroyed the lab. It was a whole big storyline that saw us exploring his past and so on, and it was pretty cool for a bunch of 12, 13-year-olds at the time to come up with that kind of like layered story, dropping hints, you know, over time with lots of foreshadowing and so on and so forth. So, yeah, proud of what we did, to be honest with you, because, again, for our age, we were pretty creative people. Now, if you see on the mini-map here, you'll notice that the green zone is actually the largest of the zones because we put so much in there. We put the rift in there, weapons testing, and all sorts of stuff. We had a few rejigs over the years, but basic principle is that each path has its own colour. So this one here is the physics testing, denoted by the red pathway, and that was basically the main bulk of it for the first series. And we'll start here with the rift, which, well, yeah, I've just fallen down. So I'll make my way out of here, there we go. And yeah, that was the first thing we did, and my character became the rift tester after being the secretary. Now this second room here is the hazardous materials, which was, again, our Noob's Guide to Minecraft dressed up as testing hazardous materials on sheep, when actually what we were doing was showing the young player how to dye sheep and make them different colours. This next one is the pump room, which was originally a slime jumping on a piston on a redstone clock, but the new version I remodeled after the version on the modded version that had proper pipe work from modded blocks. Now here is what I consider to be the pièce de résistance, which is the Red Labs space program, which basically saw us using the Galacticraft mod as, well, our wheelhouse really for quite a while. It was the main mod that we had so much content to try and get out of, and as you may see, I have rebuilt it block for block out of all surviving footage of the original from the trailer for the second series that never ended up being released, because that's the kind of person I was when I was that age. I had no motivation or follow through whatsoever. But yeah, I think it came out pretty good. And as I may have mentioned a couple of times now, this is a rebuild. The original Red Labs world, God knows where it is. Probably on one of the many old hard drives that contains the original series that I have no access to. It got put in a box in a shed many years ago, and it's probably just sitting there waiting to be unearthed as a time capsule. Now you're seeing here, in the chest there, I had a couple of things. The Apocalypse Survival thing, because in our Red Labs texture pack, the wooden sword was a bat with nails in it, and a syringe, because the other swords were syringes. Now here, nature has really taken over. This section is where we had our quarters, and some more got built over time, but I have no surviving record of the modded version of this corridor, so I can only go off memory, and the original pre-modded series. You can see some of the vines getting in through here. And we might take this opportunity to climb through where the roof has collapsed. Have a little look around. But I think it's pretty accurate to the original. As I say, the green zone there is absolutely no footage of, so I had to do it all from memory. So you can see where the roof's collapsed next to my room. It's taken some of the letters off the signs above the door there. Now, who am I to disagree with my 13-year-old self? I better knock on the door. Now, this had a couple of refits over time, and we had a mod that had better bookshelves in it, and Minecraft now has chisel bookshelves, so it all looks much, much better, in my opinion. And this was my old room. Now, past the roof collapse, we have a little stairway leading up to the elevator, which went down to this thing called the Red Labs Vaults, which was just something that I kept mentioning in the first series, because we knew it was something we were going to use in the second one. In fact, the power generator for the entire complex was supposed to be down there in the story, and we used mods to, you know, make it melt down one day, and part of that footage got into the Season 2 trailer. But there you go, that was our lift, and or elevator, as some way to say, and that was basically all I could remember to rebuild. So you'll have to use your imagination to fill in what the underground part of the lab looks like, because I haven't got the faintest idea. Now, with regards to the green zone, I'm going to take you around what I've rebuilt, but it's essentially just, again, all from memory, because we don't have any surviving footage of what the green zone looked like. So I've had to do a lot of things with a lot of artistic license to restore it in a way that I felt was faithful, but also without overdoing it. All I remember about the green zone is that it was big, cavernous, made of iron blocks, and the rough layout with the rift, the large rift, being in the back right corner. So over on the left there, I think we had some weapons testing stuff and dimensional doors from the Dimensional Doors mod, which was another big one. And a bee has got in here somehow. And then over here in the back corner, we have the rift, which had a bunch of stuff around it. Even had a diving board. And yeah, like I say, over there we had weapons testing and rift dimensional doors and stuff like that. Now you'll see that the rift, you can actually walk on it, despite the fact that it seems to be covered in invisible blocks. It is in fact entirely vanilla. Back when we first made Red Labs, we used invisible blocks because they were a part of the texture pack that hadn't been textured, but nowadays we can use the modern Minecraft advent of barrier blocks. So if we were to ever redo the series, we could have actually used the Rift as part of the Noob's Guide to Minecraft to explain how barrier blocks work. But the idea with the large Rift, the one thing that I remember about it from 13, 12, however many years ago, is that I would leave little holes in it and only I would know where they were, because my character was supposed to be the Rift expert, somehow going from secretary to Rift expert. But that was the idea. But that's basically all I remember, so that's basically all I've been able to rebuild. But I think it was a fun little pet project of mine. And something that I've always liked about this video game is that it's a little time capsule for all of us who grew up with it, to be able to revisit the spaces that we were in, where we played with our friends. Whereas in real life, you know, change is a constant. Whereas in Minecraft, not only can you keep these things forever, as long as you make sure you look after your files properly, but you can even rebuild them from memory, like I have had to do with Red Labs, and I think I've done a decent job so far. Maybe one day I will recover the modded series and rebuild it properly. Maybe we'll make some kind of mixture of the two, new and old, together to capitalize upon not only the nostalgia, but also the cool ideas that we had back in the day, married up with a little bit more experience. So anyway, that was this little nostalgia tour of Red Labs, something that was incredibly important to myself and the friend group that I had 12 to 13 years ago. I say 12 to 13 because it was originally envisioned in 2012 and executed in 2013 as a concept. It was great fun. It has a fun place in my heart, and probably the hearts of most of the people that watch this video, because most people probably won't bother with it. I'm a heavy metal man now. Doing gaming videos is pretty much behind me, but at the minute, it's the best that I can do. So, if you're interested in carrying on, following me, my channel, and my journey, consider checking out my band and all I'm doing with that. And pray, just pray, that my medical situation gets resolved soon. Thanks for taking this little tour with me. Much love. And always, remember... Shit, I forgot.